Yo, manda un del
Okay,
mundo.
just deep breaths.
José,
Un del mundo.
tiene,
Yo.
tiene drogas, tiene
No, yo no uso
cochilla.
droga. 400 y pico pesos.
He's
Tengo yo ahí.
he's got about
Que
400
me regalaron 25, 50, 225 me regalaron a mí. Ahora voy para la calle y pierdo el apartamento allá enfrente. Que me iban a dar también. Qué cosa más grande, Dios mío. Abunde esto todo en que yo muera. Húndelo, Dios.
I think the most dramatic part of this arrest is the fact that they had guaranteed him housing in Bradenton, and now because he got arrested, they're not going to give him any more housing. So he's really upset that because the fact he's getting arrested, he's going to lose his housing that they had for him in Bradenton. So this is a very emotional moment for this person. On today's video, we're going to look at the Sarasota Police Department arrest an 83-year-old homeless man who is Cuban and speaks mostly Spanish. It happened just north of downtown Sarasota. As always, the Sarasota Police Department does an incredible job at bringing us this footage very quickly and dealing with the homeless people with respect and dignity. Now, there's a lot of paperwork that goes into arresting a homeless person and taking care of all their possessions. So in today's video, you're really going to learn a lot about how much actually goes into law enforcement making a homeless arrest. It really is an elaborate process. Let's watch this video. This guy's sleeping on somebody's front lawn. No, you can't do that. That looks like a gated community, bro. He just went to sleep on somebody's front yard. No, he didn't. Come on, bro. You can't sleep on somebody's front lawn. What the crap, bro? Oh, let's watch this, y'all.
Hello?
Police department.
Hello? You can't sleep here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro, you can't sleep on somebody's front.
Go ahead and get up for us.
Huh?
How's it going? What's your name?
Hola, eso da.
What's your name?
José Obrego.
José. ¿Hablas inglés, José?
No,
¿No hablas inglés?
no hablo mucho inglés. Hablo un poco inglés.
Ok, está bien. Mira, no puedes acostar aquí.
¿Y por qué?
¿Y por qué? He asked the cop, why can't I sleep here? No.
¿Esta es la propiedad tuya?
No,
Por eso no puedes acostar aquí.
¿dónde me voy a acostar? Mira, me han robado todo.
Okay, so he's telling the cop, like, I ain't got nowhere to sleep, I'm homeless. Like, I get the fact you're homeless, but come on, brother, a gated community? There's a lot of better options in Sarasota than that. You can't go sleep in somebody's backyard, brother. Come on, man.
Mis documentos, mi retiro, me los robaron todo el Social Security. ¿Por qué no ven eso?
Mira, si quiere una cama en el shelter, no puedo llevar por allá.
¿Para dónde?
El Salvation Army.
Mira, Salvation Army, si votaron a toda esa gente de ahí y limpiaron y pusieron gente buena, es negocio.
He's like, homie, I ain't going to no Salvation Army. That's a business. That ain't free. They charge.
Sí, yo entiendo que no está, ¿cómo se dice?
Ahí tratan uno como perro.
No
The Salvation Army treats me like a dog.
está contento con ese negocio, pero es solamente el negocio que tenemos por esto.
Sí, pero ahora me llaman 3 días para allí, a los 3 días me botan ahí para afuera.
Even if I go to the Salvation Army, they're going to kick me out in 3 days. So what's the point?
Si no quiere ir para allá, necesita ir de aquí.
¿Cómo?
Si no quiere ir para allá, no puede quedar aquí.
Ya está bien, no me puedo quedar aquí porque esto no es mío.
So the cop says, look, sir, you don't own this property. You can't be here. If you don't leave, you're going to get arrested. So the cop is being reasonable with him.
Ok.
¿Ok?
Ok.
Okay, papi.
Pero fíjate lo que te voy a decir.
Agarra tus cosas y todo eso, ¿ok? Ven para acá, ¿ok?
All right, so grab your stuff and we'll leave. And that'll be the end of it.
Ven afuera aquí.
Yo tengo 83 años. Los ladrones están en el Social Security, ¿por qué no le caen arriba? Ah, no, esto no. Le caen a nosotros.
He's a bit upset.
I can tell.
Huh?
I can tell.
He's a bit upset because he says that at certain points that his ID and a bunch of stuff was stolen from him in the past and no one did anything. He has nowhere to go. I offered him a bed at the Salvation Army he said that place is what was the exact words he used? A shit shelter. And that they need to change all their staff there and make it a better place. I said, well, I know that's what you think, but that's the only other option. But you need to get up and get it out of here, get your stuff and get out
Yeah,
of
he
here.
just goes.
What do you want to? How do you want to handle this? What's your call?
Is this?
I don't know. I don't know what those signs say. Private property, no trespassing.
Is it the proper sign?
I mean, it's not, what's it called, signage. It's not TEP program.
I mean, if he's gonna leave, I'm not gonna.
Okay, yeah. He asked why he couldn't be here, and I said, listen, this isn't your property, so you need to get up and leave. I just know that he's probably going to end up somewhere else, but.
Okay, you gotta let him know that this park is also closed.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Let me get his information. Oye, te llamo José, ¿sí?
Sí,
¿Qué es tu apellido?
Obregón.
¿Cómo?
Obregón.
Obregón.
Sí.
O-B-E-R.
Sí, yo fui capitán en mi país. Fui investigador, estudié investigación en una academia militar.
¿Cuál país?
Cuba.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so he lied to me when I met him, or he lied to the cop now. He says he used to be a doctor in Cuba or something. But guess what? He told me that he was born in Samoa. So this guy either lied to me or lied to the cop. But I think he's not a liar. I think what he has is a mental disability. He has mental problems. He needs help.
De los comunistas cochinos, asquerosos.
It's just a bunch of dang communist pigs down there where I'm from, I tell you what.
Okay. Obregón, ¿sí? ¿Y qué es su día de nacimiento? Fecha de nacimiento.
0102 de 1942.
¿Otra vez?
0102 de 1942.
0102 of 1942. His name is Jose Obregón. Yeah. O-B-R-E-G-G-A-O-N maybe, or G-O-N. I don't know. Run them. I'll try running both of them.
Are you seeing what I saw?
Huh? How'd you spell his name?
I just put OBR.
Wanted person. Wanted person.
Yep. He sure does.
All right.
I'm grabbing gloves. Hold on. You see him up there?
Yeah, is that him?
Huh?
Is that him?
Yeah, it's a little. I think it's a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a whole family.
Oh,
It's like, you see the ones up higher? You see them up there? Trash pandas. I got a 29 check on one Hispanic male. Last name's gonna be spelling Ocean Bravo Robert Edward George Ocean Nora. First name Jose, spelling John Ocean Sam Edward. Date of birth is 1/2 of 42. $54. José,
say.
José, ven para acá, por favor. ¿Ah? Ok, muchas gracias, ven para acá. ¿Puedes poner la bicicleta ahí? ¿Tiene una de esos para ponerlo ahí?
¿Una qué?
El de ese ahí, ese.
No, aquí,
¿Ah, sí?
aquí se cae.
Sí, no se cae, déjalo ahí. Sí, mira, se queda ahí. Échate por acá. Ok, puede quitar la...
Me van a registrar como si fuera un bandolero.
No,
Yo no
no eres que
yo no
es
tengo ni
bandolero.
preso nunca en mi vida.
Mira, dame favor, da la vuelta, pon las manos para atrás. Ok, no te mueves de ahí, por favor.
Me van a poner expósito, como si yo fuera un delincuente, caballo. Mira, como si yo fuera un delincuente.
Mira, no es así, no es así,
Sí, así es.
no es así.
Nunca me
Mira,
puesto a mi gente.
en este momento estás abajo de arresto porque tienes una orden de arrestar,
¿Cómo
¿ok?
arresto?
Sí,
Ok.
por ¿cómo se dice? Tenía una orden que no puede estar por una propiedad y estaba ahí y no te fuiste ellos daron un día de corte y no te fueran para el día en corte.
Yo entregué ese papel.
15, one Hispanic now.
Yo entregué ese papel.
¿Cuál papel?
Yo fui a la policía y me dio enfrente a una oficina.
Okay, so this is a little confusing. He had a previous failure to leave property after being warned by an owner, and he had to go to court or comply with something to the courts, and he didn't do it. So this is not the arrest that he's facing now isn't because of where he's sleeping now. He's being arrested for a warrant for a previous trespassing order that he failed to comply with.
¿Y fue para allá?
Yo fui para allí y entregué el papel y una
Bueno,
señora de color.
Estamos
alta.
chequeando en este momento para saber si está bueno, pero si no fuiste para allá,
No, yo
te vas
fui
para
para
la
allá.
cárcel esta noche.
Yo, David, para meterme en la calle, yo hablo con el gobierno, ¿me entiendes?
Ok,
Porque la
está
verdad,
bien.
y esta bicicleta que la van a dejar aquí,
No,
porque esta me costó
vamos.
244 pesos.
No.
Okay, so he asked, my bicycle, am I going to lose my bicycle? I just paid $240 for it. The cop's like, no, we're going to take it with you. So one of the biggest concerns that homeless people have when they get arrested is their bicycles. What's going to happen to the bicycle? He said when he went to the court, a woman of color helped him. So let me just mention that that's very classy of him to put it that way, because in Spanish he could have said una negra, which is a black woman, but he said a woman of color. So it seems like his vocabulary is very respectful right now at this moment. So he's not being belligerent or he doesn't. That's a classy. If a for a Spanish person, Cuban say it that way is a more refined vocabulary. It isn't a trashy vocabulary. When they put him in handcuffs, he also said, "You're treating me like a delinquent." And that's like something somebody more classy would say. So I think this guy might have had somewhat of a very decent upbringing at some point.
Nos vamos a ponerlo ahí en la ¿cómo se dice? El departamento de policía.
¿Ok?
Go ahead for 6.
Pues esa bicicleta es nueva. Y yo no puedo andar a pie porque tengo hernia discal. Tengo 3 operaciones de hernia. No. Como tratan uno como perro y no tengo récord. Que está ahí más cochino hay aquí ahora.
So he tells the cop, "You guys are treating me like a dog, and I don't even have a criminal record. I haven't really done anything serious." He also says that right now in this country, things are being run by a bunch of pigs, which is kind of what he's really trying to say is that the way that the government treats people at the moment is very unfair or unjust.
Con nosotros. Sí. Como si fueran de infancia. Yo, mi papá nunca me habían puesto esposa a mí.
He's kind of upset, almost crying, saying, "I'm being treated like a delinquent. I've never been handcuffed before." But again, I don't know if that's true or not because there are some inconsistencies in what he tells people.
Yo, manda un del mundo.
Okay, so he's starting to talk in African tongue. So in Cuba, you know, African religion is kind of big. So I think what he's doing is he's calling down demons on the cops. So I'm not really sure what is going on here. But, you know, just an educated guess. I think he's calling down demons on the cops. So the cops say, "Hey, bro, you don't do this right now."
Deep breath.
José,
Un del mundo. Yo.
tiene drogas, tiene
No, yo no uso
cochilla.
droga ni cerveza. Yo uso cigarro para fumar.
¿Tiene cuchillo?
No.
¿Tiene nada por su
No.
cuerpo en este momento?
No,
me voy a
nada.
chequear, ¿ok?
Nada más que ahí en...
¿Qué tiene aquí?
Cigarro.
¿Cigarro? Ok.
Yo no tengo nada, compadre.
Ok, está bien, pero yo necesito chequear.
Eso es
Si
una
vas a
leyenda.
entrar el carro, necesito chequear todo.
Qué cosa más grande. ¿Quién hizo esto? Esa gente de al lado seguro. Seguro que hizo esa gente, los ladrones.
All right, so he's asking the cops who snitched on me. He wants to know who snitched on him.
Que no somos, yo soy
El
ladrón.
cinturón.
Eso me la parece. Como si fuera un delincuente yo. Voy para la cárcel, como si fuera yo un
He's got a
delincuente.
wallet full of a lot of cash, just FYI.
¿Qué cosa es? Esa, ahí tengo dinero yo.
Sí, el dinero va contigo a la cárcel, ¿ok?
400 y pico pesos.
He's saying
Tengo ahí
he's got about
que
400
me regalaron
something
25,
dollars.
50, 200, sí, 225 me regalaron a mí. Ahora voy para la calle, pierdo el apartamento allá
I'll
en
lose those.
I gotta say, for a homeless guy to have that kind of money on him, he's definitely not a junkie. He's definitely not using. And the overwhelming majority of homeless people are users. This guy seems to be the exception. This guy's clean.
que me iban a dar también. Qué cosa más grande, Dios mío, aún de esto como el que yo muera. Húndelo, Dios, porque estos mortales me hacen aquí. Óigame, mira cómo me está apretando aquí los brazos, me duelen. Oíste, me duelen, coño.
José.
Me duelen, no, me duelen, mátame.
Try not to cry. He's kind of like praying for help, is what he's doing in Spanish. He's kind of letting God know this is wrong. Why is this happening to me? I haven't done anything wrong. I'm just trying to sleep.
Cálmate,
Cálmate, por favor.
Es como si yo fuera un delincuente, hijo de puta. Coño,
José,
coño. Hey,
cálmate, por
cálmate,
favor.
no. Mira cómo me apretaste de poca, coño. Como si yo fuera un delincuente. Yo no soy delincuente. Ni he estado preso nunca en mi vida. Mátame mejor.
So he's saying he's never been arrested in his lifetime, and he's very upset about being handcuffed. He's just not happy with it. He says he's not a criminal. I'm not a criminal.
Y así van a morir todos ustedes.
Okay, now he crossed the line. He's telling the cops that they should all die in handcuffs themselves. Man, I was really hoping he would hold his composure because so far he did really well. He hasn't been like overly disrespectful, but he's just kind of crossed the line there.
Todos van a morir. No tengo
¿Qué tiene
nada.
aquí?
Ahí tengo llave y tengo el teléfono.
¿Este es el teléfono tuyo?
Ese es mío.
Ok.
Y tengo una
Todo,
llave.
todo va contigo,
Tengo
¿ok?
una llave.
¿Una qué?
Una llave.
¿Una llave de qué? ¿De la bicicleta?
Sí, de seguro la bicicleta.
Ok. Todo va contigo. Y la bicicleta nos vamos a ponerlo en el departamento de policía y cuando salga de la cárcel puede ir para allá para recogerlo, ¿ok?
Ajá.
Y también el mochila que tenía,
Ajá.
todas esas cosas va para el departamento también.
Ajá.
Lo vamos a ponerlo ahí con tu nombre. Cuando salga puede ir para allá para recoger todo, ¿ok?
Ok.
¿Me entiendes?
You know, after having somebody wish you death, the police officer sits there and quietly and patiently explains to him, we're going to make sure your bicycle, your book bag, all your belongings that you have are going to go with you. Once you get out of jail, you can pick it up at the police department. So despite the fact that the homeless person told the police officer, I hope you all die, and whatever the crap he said in Spanish, you know, he's being very respectful. And this is what I really enjoy about the Sarasota Police Department is, you know, these are completely indigent people, and look at how much respect and dignity they treat them with.
¿Por qué me quitan la gorra? Po?
Necesito quitarlo, ¿ok?
Ay, mi madre, yo no soy delincuente.
Mira, todo esto que estoy haciendo es la regla de la
Policía.
departamento de policía,
Sí.
¿ok? Yo hago todo esto con toda persona que yo estoy en contacto con, ¿ok?
Ajá.
Okay,
Y me aprietan duro los brazos con la esposa que me duelen.
You double
Los
locked
brazos. Los brazos me duelen abajo. Donde está apretado todo el
¿Dónde? ¿Aquí? ¿Dónde
Sí,
está?
aquí, en la parte izquierda, la parte derecha. Todo
Este
me
parte-
duele la pierna, me
ahí.
duele el hueso, los huesos me duelen
Mira,
ahí.
los handcuffs no están, ¿cómo se dice? No son buenos. Yo sabe eso. Ok, métete ahí y siéntate, por favor.
Ay, como yo me voy a sentar aquí, ¿cómo me va a agarrarme? Ya pues. No puedo. Yo tengo 83 años. Yo soy joven. Yo soy uno.
Mira, es mejor darle para atrás, pon la pie ahí
Voy a poner, ¿y con qué me aguanto?
Mira, así, ahí
¿Pero con qué,
encima
qué
y-
mano me aguanto?
Yo te puedo ayudar.
Ah, bueno. No me vaya a
Con
tirar.
cuidado.
No me vaya a tirar.
Con cuidado. Ok, siéntate por ahí.
Ay, mi brazo, me parte mi brazo.
Siéntate por ahí, por
Que
favor.
me duelen los brazos, cojones. Me duelen los brazos, está
¿Cuál
bueno,
abrazo? ¿Cuál abrazo?
Los brazos me duelen de la esposa. El que me tiene la esposa me duele y me va a partir los brazos.
Mira, yo
Me van
sé
a
que-
partir los brazos. Me duelen, coño, me duelen, por favor.
Ok,
Ay.
es mejor si siéntate ahí, nos vamos para allá y puedes quitar todo.
No, que no puedo porque acostarme atrás de los brazos, me duelen los brazos, por favor. Quítemela.
He's complaining that his hand, that his arms.
Aflójala, aflójala. Aflójala que sea, me duelen
Ok,
mucho los brazos.
salga.
¿Eh?
Salga de ahí.
No, pues yo no puedo salir así.
Yo te puedo ayudar. Dale.
Ay, me duelen los brazos, mira, para eso. No puedo sentir fuerza con los brazos. Ay.
Levántate. Ok.
Ay.
Salga. Ponte para atrás. Dale para abajo.
Quítame el
Let's put two handcuffs on.
Aflójala. Me duele. Ay, qué abuso.
You have a second set?
Ay, qué abuso, mi madre.
I do.
Go ahead and grab the other side.
Ay, un hombre que
I don't think the average person realizes how hard the job of a police officer can be.
¿Dónde dónde? ¿Ahí donde están?
me duelen ahí, me duelen mucho.
¿Te duelen ahí?
Sí, me duelen. Es que está muy apretado.
Déjame chequear. No están muy apretados.
Están apretados, compadre. ¿Cómo se me quedó? Me voy a partir los brazos, me siento ahí.
Mira,
Dármela.
nos vamos a poner dos aquí atrás porque estás así. Pero te van a apretar lo mismo.
No, si me apretan lo mismo, mátame mejor. Porque eso yo no puedo ir, pues se me van a partir los brazos.
Señor.
Se me van a partir los brazos.
¿Cómo se dice que estás?
Brote. Brote me van a partir.
No está broken.
Sí, me van a partir los brazos y me siento ahí. Con las manos atrás así. Me duele. Es un dolor que no puedo aguantarlo.
No te mueves, ¿ok?
Keep in mind, this guy's like in his 70s or 80s, so, the way they handle him has to be very careful. It's an elderly person, he's homeless, he's got some physical ailments, so, it's not like you're arresting a young, fit guy. This guy is an elderly person.
Yo tengo 83 años, man.
Yo sé. Ya me dijiste eso.
83 years old. This is how old this guy is. So he's telling the cop, like, hey, man, I'm 83 years old. You can't just throw me back there handcuffed like that, so he's an elderly guy, man.
Que nació en 42. Ya, yo
Abuso
sé.
de Dios. Revienta todo un de estos. Mira el abuso que hacen aquí la policía. Me quieren zapatar hasta los brazos. Como si yo fuera un delincuente. Ni nunca he estado preso ni nada.
You want to put that one on here. I'm gonna leave this.
Me duele el brazo.
We'll double lock them in a second.
Aflójala a mí.
Mira, no está apretado, ¿ok?
Ahora, bueno, si me aprieta, mira, ya se apretó, ya. ¿Ya se apretó? La izquierda que me aprieta, ya se apretó.
Eso está mal.
Mira eso. Ya está apretada ya.
Espera un momento, no te mueves.
Ay, mi madre, Dios mío. ¿Por qué no coge la pistola? y
Espera un
mátame
momento.
mejor? Mátame mejor.
Espérame un momento.
Señor, estoy sufriendo mucho.
¿Ese está bien?
Me duelen, no te me duelen, los huesos me duelen todo. Ay, mi madre.
I have to admit, there's an embarrassing factor about the fact that a guy that's 83 years old is sleeping in the grass, and then he gets arrested for sleeping somewhere else. And here's this guy that's 83 years old, and we're tying him up like a hog and throwing him in the back of a police car. There is a wrong factor to the situation. Is it exactly the Sarasota Police Department's fault? Probably not. Is it exactly these officers' fault? Probably not. But at somewhere, somehow, society has definitely failed this person. And I talked to him, I met him in person. His story about how he came to the United States doesn't seem to check out compared to the story he told the cops. So who knows what his real past is. But regardless, an 83-year-old person being put in handcuffs for sleeping on the ground is a pretty pathetic scenario, whoever's fault it is.
Mira, sí. Pon la mano donde quieres. Ahí. Pues, no, ponlo ahí, así. No te mueves de ahí.
Sí, pero si me aprieta no la foja, me duele.
Espera un momento, coño.
Qué desgracia este caballo. Un hombre que ni roba, ni mata, ni coge droga, ni toma cerveza. Mira eso, preso.
Says, I don't drink, I don't do anything illegal, I don't do drugs, I'm not a criminal, and look at the situation I'm in. Yeah, we live in a country where being poor is a crime, and for us watching today's video, maybe one day you're going to be 83 years old if you're lucky, and you could be getting arrested for not having a place to sleep. It's really pathetic overall.
Y los delincuentes aquí, en la calle.
And the thugs out here are still on the streets, is what he tells the cop. And it's so true. It's so true that, you know, they go after the homeless people for sleeping on the grass, but then the people that are selling drugs, they're not hard to find. The people that are pushing poison at the homeless people are not hard to find. It's very true that, you know, in this country, the criminals have free reign to sell drugs and terrorize our communities, but then they go after a homeless person. He's making some definitely valid points about the reality of the United States right now.
Ahora sí, siéntate.
Ahora sí, ves.
Con cuidado.
Mira, ahora sí.
¿Es mejor?
Ahora sí, está mejor. Ahorita me apretaba mucho. Ay.
Jeez. Yeah, he can keep the bike keys. The lock that's on there, I'll just leave it on there. I'll just leave it on there. I will
Send me the property.
send you a property receipt. All right.
You know, homeless people have a lot of possessions. A lot of it's just garbage bags, empty bottles, and stuff like that. It takes a lot of time for law enforcement to kind of like sort through this crap. A lot of it, they just have to throw it away. It's not really a possession. But either way, quite the time-consuming operation here. Okay, what is he singing? I think he's saying bicycle ready to go, but it's unintelligible, so... Oh, that made my day right there.
Yo, what
Okay, so this part here got retracted, so I don't know what they're talking about. It could be unrelated. It could just be something we're not supposed to know. What are you supposed to do with a bicycle that doesn't fit in your car? Basically, they may be telling the guy, okay, we're going to save your bicycle, but then they're going to be like, okay, what do we do now with this bicycle? Because it doesn't fit inside my patrol car. I think that's what's going on right here. We'll figure it out eventually. But it looks like for now, this is a little situation here. Did he get it in there? Let's find out. I think his real question is, what do you do with a bicycle that doesn't fit in the back of your freaking police car? That's probably what he's asking. Or he could just continue singing his Bicycle My Brother song, which I can see why they'd retract that for sure. Okay, so they hauled off this homeless guy like an hour ago, and they're still dealing with like all his possessions and stuff. And by the way, that does look like a pretty nice house right there. I can't really tell what type of neighborhood it is. At first I thought it was a gated community, but if it's in the city of Sarasota, it might not be a gated community. But it doesn't look like a rough neighborhood. It kind of looks fairly decent.
Very close.
Okay, this has to be the dumbest thing I've ever watched. Okay, I'm sure you could just put it on the roof rack with a tow strap. This is ridiculous. this is something else right here. It was harder to arrest a bicycle than it was to arrest a homeless guy.
Yeah! 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 Got it. Time to get rid of the garbage. Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Do you have any medical or mental health conditions?
¿Tiene problemas medical o de mental?
Tengo medicina ahí.
Yes, he's saying he has medicine here.
Sorry.
He's saying that he does have medicine.
What kind of medication?
¿Qué tomas de medicina? ¿Para qué?
No, esas las compro yo, no como ningún médico, porque son unos asesinos aquí.
Bro, this guy is so Cuban. The cop is asking him, what medications do you take? And he's like, I don't know, I pay a crap load of money for this crap. Estos médicos son unos asesinos, chicos. Me cobran una pila de billetes. Bro, just tell the cop what medications you take. He doesn't need an explanation about how the doctors charge you too much for them.
No, ¿por qué tomas medicina? ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué? Por los dolores que la pinta y las operaciones que tengo de hernia. Tengo 3 operaciones de hernia y tengo dos hernias discales.
I'm not making out what he's saying. He's saying that he takes medicine and that he has a lot of pain.
What is the medication for?
¿Para qué es la medicina? For pain. He's just saying for pain.
Okay. Does he take anything for blood pressure? Does he have diabetes?
¿Tiene presión de sangre?
¿Cómo?
La sangre, tiene presión de sangre, sube, ¿cómo se dice? Alto presión de sangre. No, he doesn't have high blood pressure. ¿Tiene diabetes?
Diabetes, sí, no, soy diabético.
He's saying yes, he has diabetes.
Tengo una pastilla para el aceite del aceite que tengo en la sangre.
He's saying that he does take, he has a pill that he takes for diabetes.
Okay.
¿Dónde está la pastilla?
Dispatch, we'll be out at 1350 Main Street, Unit 304. Remember?
Tú, ¿la pastilla está en la mochila?
Ah, en la mochila, no sé.
Yeah, he's saying that it's inside the bag that I have.
Okay. Does he use any illegal drugs or alcohol?
No, he doesn't. He made that very clear here on scene.
Nene,
Okay. Does he feel okay himself?
alcohol, ni droga, ni nada, todo yo pongo.
José, no quieres hacer algo malo a ti, ¿no?
No me quieren hacer algo malo para el gobierno, cuando yo traiga, yo voy para el gobierno. Ahora sí estoy-
No, estoy preguntando
Yo voy para
si
allá a comprar esto.
José, escúchame. Estoy preguntando si tiene la mental suicida.
Vaya, mental. Estos policías aquí no tienen.
Jose, relax. Okay, we have a couple more questions. Alright.
Sí, tú estás muy, tú eres muy bonita.
Alright.
He said you're very pretty.
No tengo a nadie, yo fui-
All right, so the last homeless arrest that we dealt with out of Sarasota, the homeless guy also hit on the female cop. So this seems to be a prevalent issue among the homeless population.
Capitán, capitán, fui yo en mi país.
I'm just gonna try to.
He used to be a captain where he came from.
Okay. Alright. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was worth a shot.
Alright. Thanks.
Yeah, like
En Cuba era capitán y yo era médico hacer. Okay, jokes aside, I think, at his age, with his homeless situation, there's definitely some type of mental situation this guy is dealing with. And it's very unfortunate for him to be going through these struggles. It really sucks all the way around.
la pastilla.
So obviously they have to register everything that this homeless person had on him. And let me tell you, this is hours and hours of police work for a homeless arrest. And this isn't in some fancy office. This is like a garage. You can see there's dust everywhere and stuff like that. So when a police officer makes an arrest of a homeless person, and this person has hundreds of possessions on him, the amount of work that goes into registering all these individual items, including his obscene material down there. I don't think people really appreciate the amount of work that goes into law enforcement. It's definitely not as easy as people think.
It's fucking there. Something to wipe it off with. Oh, good use for a mask, huh?
Pretty sure that was piss. We got, what is that? SMH. Oh yeah, Huffy.
I do not have it yet, but I'll just finish this up, get it written, and I'll just bring it by the jail when I'm done. Hasta mañana. I mean, see you tomorrow. Sorry. Forgot. Oh. I don't know who's got jokes. When we pulled up to Bon Bon, that was you parked right there? I go, who is that? Marston goes, oh, it's Will. I think he's here to translate for you.
You know, I think the craziest part of this arrest is the fact that he had housing guaranteed, and now that he's getting arrested, they're probably not going to honor his housing voucher, because if you've been arrested, you can't get housing. And he got arrested for not having housing. You know, and allegedly he had a warrant out for failing to leave after a warning, but where's that arrest at? Because I don't see it. I really don't think an 83-year-old homeless person needs to be getting arrested for being homeless. I think that the system has really failed this guy horribly. Why is an 83-year-old person being arrested for being homeless, and now he's not going to be able to receive housing assistance because he was homeless? So do you see how the system really plays a bad joke on these people? And at the end of the day, yeah, the law enforcement officers did their due process. They dealt with him with respect and dignity. They saved all his personal possessions. There isn't any type of due process issue there with the way Sarasota Police Department behaved. But endemically, the way the system is structured, this guy is now going to lose his housing voucher because he was homeless and got arrested for being homeless. And at the same time, he's being charged with a warrant for a trespassing charge that we're not seeing the video for. So all of this is really it's a mess. I mean, and not only is it a problem for the homeless person, because the homeless guy, now he's not going to be able to receive any assistance because he's got a criminal record now. But not only is it a problem for the homeless person, but it's a huge burden on society. I mean, the amount of work that these police officers had to put in to arrest this guy, document all his belongings. It would have been cheaper to grab this guy and put him in a hotel for the night. And this is kind of where the entire system just doesn't make sense with how homelessness is dealt with in the United States. It takes up police resources, an incredible amount of police resources. This police officer had to carry all this guy's belongings, document all these guys' belongings. That's an incredible amount of work that these police officers had to do. and a huge burden to society, it would probably be cheaper just to house these people versus arresting an 83-year-old man for being homeless. The way homelessness works in the United States just doesn't make sense. For an 83-year-old person to get arrested for sleeping on the grass and police officers to have to put all this time and effort, this entire system doesn't make sense. And the only option the police officer gave them is going to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army isn't free. It's like the guy said, it's a business. So there's a problem here, and it's not the Sarasota Police Department. They did what they were supposed to do in a very dignified way, considering you're dealing with somebody who's homeless. The officers did a great job. It's not that the officers did a bad job or that the Sarasota Police Department's not doing what they're supposed to. Is that, as a whole, this whole system of incriminating homelessness and arresting an 83-year-old homeless guy because he's homeless, and now you're not going to be able to give him housing because he got arrested for being homeless, none of this makes sense. And you can see when he got arrested how he pleaded to God for help. Like, you could tell this guy was just at his breaking point, Like, what else am I supposed to do? And he is not, let's be clear, he's not an addict. He had nothing illegal on him. Everything that he had was legal. He didn't have anything illegal. He had medications. And recently he said somebody had given him a $250 gift. So the money he had a good chunk of money, which means he was being responsible financially with the little things he had. He had a nice bicycle. He had deodorant. He had hygiene. So despite the fact this guy was homeless, he isn't a junkie. He isn't an addict. But even then, he's sleeping on a sidewalk and getting arrested for it. And again, it isn't really the Sarasota Police Department's fault. I think this is somebody else's fault. But this is the reality of the United States, where a homeless person gets arrested at 83 years old, despite the fact all they're doing is sleeping on an empty lot. After all, what is he supposed to do? I mean, he obviously has nothing illegal on him, so the notion that every homeless person arrested is a junkie isn't true, and this guy is definitely not a junkie. And in fact, he made it clear to law enforcement officers, don't throw me underneath that bus. And he was really disappointed that, he's being arrested and he considers himself, imagine that. You've never been arrested your whole life, and at 83 years old, you're being arrested, and you know that after this arrest, you're no longer going to be able to get your housing voucher because now you have a criminal record. This is definitely a screwed up situation, and there's something wrong here. And again, I don't think it's the Sarasota Police Department who's doing something wrong. I think it's kind of like the system in general.
Property receipt.
Send you a property receipt.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
204 dispatch, ending mile 0.9. At the trailer under video.